In this video, I interview one of the women that I coach on a day-to-day basis in my Recharge Transformation program, which teaches you how to have a happy and healthy relationship with food so you can just throw away all of those yo-yo dieting and all of that crash dieting to get to a happy and healthy weight. Now, her name is Lekisa. She's actually a nurse, and she shared some things with me that I actually didn't even know. Let's roll the tape and see what her experience has been like so far in the Recharge Transformation program.
When COVID hit, I had gotten to the point where I stopped wearing like my dress clothes or my regular clothes to work because I was walking through the hospital and everything. I was like, oh, wait, I'm gonna just wear scrubs. I can come home, take them off in the garage and throw them in the washing machine and keep going about my day.
Yeah.
So I've been consistent in wearing scrubs. And it was like a couple of days where I had meetings. And, we all got comfortable during COVID. And so I'd have meetings and I'll put on like, a dress or a pantsuit or something like that. And I'm like, ooh, they feel tight around the waist. So back to scrubs I go. And then, so I've been wearing scrubs for like the last year and a half, almost 2 years. And you don't really pay attention to changes in your body because of that. And then I had like certain clothes that if we went out on the weekend or if we did things, that those were my go-to clothes because I felt comfortable in them. And our anniversary was in the beginning of March. And I used to go shopping with the girls and they would always laugh at me because, the new thing now is these little onesies, as I call them. And my daughter would always say, you should get one, a top or whatever. You should get one. And I'm like, girl, with this belly, I am not getting in a onesie. So I found one, I tried it on, and the outfit that I picked out for my anniversary, that was my aha moment. That was my, oh my God, this is different. This is working. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I just was like, wow, because other people have been saying something, but like we talked about on the call today, you're just like, yeah, whatever, you're just telling me that. But for me to actually see it, I was like, oh my God. And, we've already talked about the scale thing. And like my husband said, you have this big fancy scale. Won't you do something with it? And I was playing around on the app and I was like, well, it has all of these capabilities. Let me just see what it can do. And when I saw, and I can say the actual amount, on the call, but when I saw the 14 pounds, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, is this for real? And so I did it again and it was 14 pounds. And I was like, wow, it was just like, I did this. In doing this, my mindset changed from when we first started this to where I'm at now. Because initially it was, I want to lose weight. But then I shifted from the weight loss to I just want to be healthy and live. I was like, I just want to be healthy and I want to live and I want to have different lifestyle changes. And it clicked that, okay, you making these lifestyle changes, you're adding life, you're adding years, but at the same time, you're now finally meeting that goal of losing weight.
I am so proud of you. From, like you said, from where we started to where is that we are right now, there's been so much growth.
Yeah.
And even not even just like aesthetically, like looking at you at the call, I was like, hold on, like you're looking real good today, girl. It's just your mindset. And each time you got hit with a hurdle, you came back and the perspective was different. And the perspective continued to become different. And then what's going to happen is that life is going to throw you another hurdle. I don't know when, but that's just the way how life works. You're continuing to put all the tools in your tool belt to be able to adapt, because that's what this whole thing is about. It's not like, oh, you get there and you stay there. You're always adapting and learning what works for you, right? Because what works for me is going to be a little bit different than actually what works for you. Just so everybody gets like a good understanding of your background. And I always say this, I work with a lot of nurses, and to this day, I am always wowed by the amazing job, energy, the effort that y'all give to your patients, to everybody else.
I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I give everything that I can to my patients. I'm actually over a patient safety program, and so I'm the director of patient safety. So we want to make sure that everyone that steps into our doors are providing safe, efficient, effective care. When it comes to myself, I was not doing that, wasn't sleeping right, my go-to stress reliever. But the thing that brought me to Recharge was I worked with trainers before. And in doing it, it was most of those programs where it was really tense, over 10, 12 weeks or whatever, how many weeks the program is going to be. You work out this much and you eat this much. It was like a real strict and rigid plan. And I was able to either drop the weight, lean off, or whatever. But at the end of that period, then I went back into the same habits that I had before. And so this time, I think I was looking for more of a robust program that was going to be something totally different, something life-changing. And the way that I found your program was I live in Pearland. And I went on the neighborhood app and someone had already posed a question about a personal trainer. And so I was like, let me see what this is about. And I went through the thread, and in going through the thread, like your name came up several times. I just kind of read over what the program offered. And so I was like, interesting. So then that's when I went on ahead and I submitted the DM for the consult. And our initial conversation blew me away because the first thing that you said was, I need to make sure you're a good fit for the program. And I was like, am I a good fit? Because no one's ever told me that before. Usually it's come one, come all. We take everybody. Yeah. But to hear you say, are you a good fit? I was like, wait, what does she mean if I'm a good fit? I need to lose weight. Of course I'm a good fit. But what I didn't realize was that it's not just the losing weight. Where was I mentally, physically, and emotionally to, actively and successfully, be a part of this program? I'm going to say life-changing. Because it has to go back to my mindset and mentality when I started this. And I can be honest now and say that when I first came into this, I was like, it can't be that hard because and I didn't think it was going to be as hard because, once again, it wasn't she didn't give me this strict, rigid meal plan. She doesn't have me in the gym lifting weights that, probably is going to take out my knees and my shoulder. And I was like, I've done this before. I've done all these other things before. She's just telling me I need to, do these journal entries and, just log what I eat. And yeah, she gives me my workouts, but I've done these workouts before. But this has been life-changing because it's forced me to look at me. It's forced me to look at my habits, forced me to identify what my habits were, because I think that I had habits that I didn't realize were habits.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Being so much an autopilot, especially with this demanding job that you have and all the other hats, like mother, sister, friend, auntie, godmom, like there's so many other hats that you have and you want to juggle all these things. And then you don't realize, man, I've been in this habit for X amount of years, like doing this. And I'm using food not just as a comfort, but I'm also using food for all these different things. You mentioned a little bit earlier about the aha moment with putting on the onesie for your anniversary, but any other ones, or even in that one particular, that when you had that aha, whether it's like another situation like with relationship with like food, your approach with food these days, or even that instance with the outfit?
I think it was the relationship with food. And we can go back to the Snicker and the Dr. Pepper, where I was realizing that my body no longer craved those things. No matter how stressful my day was, I would grab some water. I would pause. And so when I found that my habits were changing, when I found that I was changing, that was oh my God, wait, I'm doing something different. And one of the big ones was when we did the slowing down to eat. And I never thought about that before. And as a nurse, we tend to eat very quickly because we only have 30 minutes, if we have those 30 minutes, to really enjoy a meal. And like I said, I've been a nurse for 25 years now. And so you incorporate those habits overall into your lifestyle. And then I started paying attention to that. And even as a family, when we would go out to dinner, I think it would take longer for the food to come than for us to actually consume a meal. Yeah. And, being able to share that information with my husband and my kids, that was insightful because I felt like, oh my God, I'm a nurse and I'm letting y'all, eat all fast and do all of these things. And so, being able to incorporate things from the program program into not just my life, but into my family's life. So those were some of the aha moments for me where I was like, oh my God, I'm actually picking up something. I'm actually doing something.
What's your husband saying, knowing that he's seen you do some other programs and work with some other coaches and some other trainers? Has he given you any feedback or asked you stuff?
He has. He has, and we've talked about that before because, I took most of the programs are 12 weeks and then kind of you're on your own unless, you want to continue. And so he challenged me when he knew that this was a 1-year program. He was like, I don't think I've ever seen you be consistent in anything in 6 months. And I'm like, challenge on. And, even though we've done this for, it's not quite a year, but it's been, I forgot, we're past 6 months. But in doing this, I think that, the Saturday morning calls, he sees that unless I'm working, I'm on the calls faithfully. Just like he sees my face when I'm talking and just lighting up about how the conversations went on the call. We also had a challenge where there was a period where because of work, I was missing some of my workouts. And so he's like, I bet that, we'll do the challenge with the Apple Watch. And so we're challenging each other and motivating each other. And I think that, he's always been supportive of whatever I was doing when it comes to health and wellness. But I think he sees that, I'm taking on a different mindset this time. And I think that it's encouraging him as well to continue to encourage me because he knows this is something that I'm really seriously committed to.
Yay! I love that. Absolutely love that. So on the team with this whole recharge and the self-care support squad, so you have a care concierge. So how has been that whole experience of not only do you have a coach, a nutritionist, a trainer, but you also have literally a person that just checks in on you to see, are you okay? How is, are you alive? Are you okay? How does that feel to have that accountability, in a care concierge checking in on you?
That is wonderful. I look forward to my Monday motivation.
Yeah.
I look forward to my terrific Tuesday, my Wednesday wins, my thankful Thursdays, and then my Fridays.
Yeah.
So I look forward to those. And you're right, it holds me accountable because, there are those moments where, we can get caught up in life. And, a lot of times our friends are there, our families are there, but they're in life with you. Yeah. And when you have someone else that's kind of checking in on you, basically saying, hey, I'm here if you need me, then that gives you that little push, that little motivation. And there have been times when, I've gotten the message in the morning saying finish strong. And my morning could have started off rough. And I'm like, wow, I needed that right now. And, I find that the messages always come at the right time. And then also at the end of the day, when I'm able to accomplish what I said I was going to do, it also feels good to text back and say, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it and I feel great. And then to have someone on the other end say, I knew you could.
Yeah.
It's those things, that encouragement. So initially I thought it was accountability, but now it's, it's just I have a partner that I'm in this with and they're with me every day.
Yeah, I love that. High five.
High five.
Most people that, you have a trainer or coach, you also don't have an additional team and other people that are a part of this with you. Is that the thing that you would say we exceeded expectations on? Or is it something else? Is there something else that we exceeded expectations on?
I think that's it. I think the camaraderie. I've done boot camps before where it's a group of women, but we push and we motivate during the workouts. But with this, it's the Saturday calls for me because now you're not just in the midst of working out, but you're talking strategy. You're talking about, okay, what are some of the things that stress you? What are some of your triggers? What are some of your healthy habits? What are some of your unhealthy habits? And I think a lot of times we look at ourselves, and especially as women, we don't confide in other women as much as we should out of that fear of judgment or that fear of rejection. But for me, this group, it's a no judgment zone. Yeah. And so it's kind of like group counseling. It's kind of like group counseling because, now we can encourage each other. We can identify what's working well for one person that someone else may not have even thought about. And then it may work for them. Or it may be, well, I tried that, it didn't work well, but I would still encourage you to do it. So I think that is where this program excelled over some of the other ones that I've been a part of.
Thank you. If you were to tell a woman who was kind of like on the fence, right? Like tried some things, kind of like another program, like they're like not really sure if they're going to take this step, like into recharge. Like, what would you say to them?
I would say bet on yourself. I would say don't just focus on the physical. Don't just focus on the weight loss. Look at that emotional. Look at that, what is it that's causing you to continue to spin in these cycles that you are in? And so I think that's what this program does. It helps you to identify your cycles so that you can get out of that. So then you can be successful in whatever goal you are trying to accomplish as far as your weight and your health is concerned.
That's the biggest thing. Sure, you can do something for 6 weeks, even potentially 12 weeks and go hard, but if you haven't addressed, if you don't even know why you're coming from in that repeat cycle, then it's like, it's just going to keep coming back, right? So like, what's the point?
I totally agree.
Let me ask you this. Are you happy with the hurdles, the ups, the downs, the whole journey up to this point? Are you happy with your progress?
I am extremely happy. I'll be 50 next year. And so,
which, let me pause. Every time I look at your age, I'm like,
yes,
I don't think this number is right. Like, you don't look your age, girl. You look better.
Thank you. And so I'm originally born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. And so last week I was talking to my family, and we were talking about just how different I look and felt and just everything with the program. And the joke that I made to them was that I'm bringing it back for the 99 and the 2000. So that's what I told them. And I was like, I think, the way I feel now, it brings me back to how I felt when I was, younger and, had more energy and was able to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you don't really realize like how your body reacts to certain things. And so I have, gastroesophageal reflux and, diagnosed with GERD years ago, but, just like spicy foods, stress, and all of the things that contribute to it. But in changing my diet, changing my eating habits, not scoffing down my food in 10 minutes, all of those things, I haven't had any issues with my stomach in, I can say months, months.
When those are the type of things that I get more excited about, because that affects your quality of life. Right. Like, sure, I know you want to look good, but if you have some sort of underlying health concern and you really double down on your food, not saying always a blanket statement that you will cure it, but you will make it better. And that's something I'll put everything on. And to hear that from you, like that's, and I didn't even know that. So like, that's huge.
Yeah, and we talked about sleep, before, where that sleep pattern, getting up in the middle of the night, not being able to sleep through the night. And I've gotten the best sleep, since I've been able to make modifications to, just some of the, like with working out, increasing my workouts and, being mindful and thoughtful about what I'm eating, how I'm eating and things of that nature. And so I can just feel an overall difference in my body everywhere.
Any final parting words? Anything I didn't ask, something that you want to share that I didn't ask at all?
I would just say that the overall program has put me in a position where I'm finally looking at me as a whole. We tend to look at parts of ourselves. And so now I'm feeling whole. I'm looking at, okay, so this affects that. And if I change this, then it's going to make an impact on that. I think that has been the biggest difference. And that's what I truly appreciate about this program.
Yay! Thank you so much for your time, Lekisa. I probably have said it before, but I'll say it again. I do not take it lightly that you've put your health in my hands. And as a nurse, extra pressure when I work with medical professionals. So I'm like, okay, well, so I feel there's a lot of extra pressure I have when I coach nurses, but I couldn't be happy with your progress. I couldn't be more proud of where it is that you are and your growth of our time together. You've been amazing. So great and amazing job to you.
As nurses, we tend to know all of the physio behind everything, but the implementation piece.
Yes.
And I think that that's where you have come along, because a lot of the things that we discuss, I'm like, I know that, but okay, you know it, but you never implemented it. What good was that? Yeah. And so you helped with the implementation piece.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, listen, you gotta go to the gym. If that's how you go and you go to get your sweat on, I mean, you're looking good. Don't mess up the outfit too much. But yeah.
Thank you. I truly appreciate everything.
You're most welcome, Lekisa. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you much.
Okay. All right, bye-bye.
Was there something in Lekisa's story that resonated with you? Maybe you're also a nurse or a medical provider, that what you do for the majority of your day is just taking care of other people, which then you don't really have a lot left back for yourself. Comment down below with whatever resonated with her story, and I will do my best to help guide you with the next step of something quick and actionable that you can do immediately. Until then, check out this video or this video here with some other tips, tricks, and hacks that you can do to continue to have a better and healthier relationship with food.